Right. Yeah, I'm telling you. It's a crank right here.
Okay.
Yeah, crank. Okay, next week. I don't think I got a thing open. Don't you look spiffy on camera, honey? What you mean, no? No. At home?
No, here. Oh, my lawyer said
they ain't speaking to me. I know I'm the man landlord. Look at that. Like, yo, you good? That's how we gonna hit that. Like, yo, you alright? Gotta check you for fevers and stuff, man. We gotta do measurements on that lock. I need some of that money too. So, as far as it's gonna get, let me see. Is it gonna get this chair? My ass is. Not worrying about that. It's astronomical, son. So, what we can do, because the other day, I remember it got this far down.
Yeah.
We can just move, like you said, either this down or move it over.
I'm trying to be a better spot.
Because I told my one face to face. He sent me a picture with the man on the couch. Said, get him over here, dog. Hurry up. I'm red days. It's hot in this thing. Woo, Jesus. We frying here on Friday again. I need to go all over that. Last time we tried to do that, they had that thing locked. Oh, it's locked now? They had it locked. I don't know if Patrick's across the hallway like sweating or whatever. Thank you, Mr. Ivan J. Bates, for the air that's been provided in WO.
Yeah, that's a lifesaver.
To the left. Just a little bit to the left.
Like to this way?
That way. A little bit to the left of me.
A little bit more?
Yeah, a little bit more. Right there. Stand right here, baby. Now, the only person that's not getting is that person in that chair. So I'm going to let the show know if it's a guest, not to sit the guest in that chair. Okay. Yeah, I just maybe if I get another one of those done and cover this whole wall. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this, probably put it on the other side of the building outside, and I'll get one made like that to cover this wall. And I'll do a 10 by 10 for this wall of this. And they cover everything. And see, that's what I was trying to do. That's why I told that bonehead to do. Like, yo, if you take it up in that corner and put it right there, it's gonna cover that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we definitely got enough. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
already on.
So how y'all doing? We done. How y'all doing?
It looks good. I have to tell you
What
that.
y'all doing today? That's clear.
Yes. Very. In the back of your head, Dr. Holmes look very nice.
It look good. It look good.
So this is something we're gonna log into the minute we come up in here for the
I'm
rest.
also about to tell you something. Issue 3, write a domestic violence piece. Okay.
I'm trying to get with Raven to do that. Since she's been in the system and knows about House of Ruth and all of that other stuff. So I'm trying to do that. And there's a couple other people, and I talked to a friend of mine who has a young lady who married into the Jewish community and endured domestic violence within the Orthodox Jewish community. So he's trying to put me in touch with her, see if she's willing to share her story. So, yep, I'm finding it everywhere.
I don't use this for legal service. They get you out of jail.
I love her though.
They get you out of jail, get you a good juice. So I'll tell you, then you can take this and share it. Tell people they can watch you live on YouTube. Watch it. Watch these haters be like, oh hell.
Wow. That's what's up.
Did you live on YouTube right now?
I would wash my face.
I don't know the name of the channel.
We'll figure it out.
I would wash my face if I would remember that.
How about the cash? I knew you would feel that. Go to YouTube, right? Hit the share button. And copy, paste it, or whatever. And share it out.
No, I'm not doing it. No, I want me to leave it.
Well, you can't copy it.
There we go. Don't be so stupid. There he is.
We can almost get it set up like that. You know, we can come and put it on the we can just put the camera right on.
Yeah. And then they come everybody. Cause that covers everything.
Now watch this. Watch this, doctor.
Right. And then it come down on everybody. It'd be better off over there. And then when it come down, it hit everybody. I ain't worried about this shit. Cause like when people have write somebody with them, they the ones that sit here. They not on the mic. The mics is chairs is already. Yeah. So I'm not worried about this shit. Yeah.
Alright, I just shared it with you.
So you.
I'm doing a video at 3 and I could try to stream on
3. Anybody coming in here? You need access?
I mean, if you want to leave it alone, I'll talk to you.
Can I trust this door lock with this clown on cross hall? You having a problem with this clown?
No, I mean, it's not
Yo, I don't trust him either. I'll give you my key before I do that. Then I'll give you my key because I'm telling you, I'm not no snitching on it. But you ain't messing with my business either. And I done had a personal conversation with you, not once, not twice. Just me by myself. And then my exec come in here and do training on Friday evening. She done pulled them up almost every Friday. And what you're not going to do is keep playing. Praise break. Yep, I had to record. I had to do it.
Yes.
See y'all later. Like seeing y'all. You see money? On the Glenburg.
Now just click out of it when we're done, right? Just click out of it when we're done.
What you do is just hit in straight. Okay. Neither YouTube up. So I can walk some the next person through.
Okay. You want me to leave a note up in here? Do not close YouTube.
Please. Okay. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna go.
Social media. US Magazine. We are the voice Magazine.
We are live on YouTube, y'all. Hey, hey. So you gonna get this one way or the other. We're gonna be sharing this all over the place. I shared the link with you, not the first one, but the second one. That's exciting. I don't know about y'all, but for me, that's exciting.
Please tell them WMSKOnlineradio.com sent you.
Radio.com.
Delight yourself to the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. This is our new nature, better known as Faith Root, and you are listening to The Covenant Connection, live on WMSKOnlineradio.com, where talk radio just got better. Be blessed.
I'll dig out the rest of it. Same or something. All right. Good morning. Happy Friday, blessed Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to Covenant Connection with the Majors. I am Arlene Major.
And I'm Victor Major.
And we are live, WMSKOnlineradio.com, home of Cheryl Underwood Radio, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. And we are in here with our special guest, Dr. Eric Holmes. He just loves being here. Good morning.
Good morning, Baltimore.
And you know what? And we got another surprise for you. I shared it on our Facebook Live. If you are listening in on the app, we are now live on YouTube. That's right. We are live on YouTube. WMSK shows will be live on YouTube thanks to Miss Connoisseur, who was just in here showing off. But anyway, we love her. We love you, Miss Connoisseur. Thank you so much. I have shared the link. We'll continue to share the link for the live webcam. So now you get to look at us in studio.
Color.
Live. If your face ain't clean, you got a problem. Oh, anyway. Let's get on and get started because it is the weekend. We made it through another week. Dr. Holmes, if you would, if you pray us in.
Father, we come and say thank you when we bless your name. We give you glory, honor, and praise. We thank you for this another day that you've allowed us to see. Now, even though, God, as we come to for this opportunity that's been given. We thank you even for the station, oh God, even for the CO. We thank you even now. Blessed is your people. We give you the praise, the glory that it all belongs to you. Said and done, someone may be encouraged, uplifted, but as always, that you get all glory and honor. We thank you even now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. Yes, we needed that. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we have been going, before we even get into our topic, there's a lot of things that have happened in this week. I do want to, we were just talking about it off air before we went live. We've got to send heartfelt prayers and condolences out to the family of Kate Spade, who took her own life earlier this week, and also to the shocking news of Anthony Bourdain, who took his life within the last 24 hours. And we don't want to just note those celebrity passings. We want to send heartfelt prayers and condolences to all families who are going through bereavement right now. Whether it was lost due to a medical condition, whether it was someone taking their own life, whether it was senseless violence, whatever it may be, just lean on the everlasting arms during this time and know that someone out there is here for you, to listen to you, to care for you, to care about you, and to help you celebrate the life of your family member. Not just the tragic moment, but to celebrate the life that was given to share upon this earth, because everyone that is here has a purpose and has a gift, and they share it in the best way that they know how. So heartfelt condolences to all those that have passed before us, which is just like still kind of rocking people's worlds right now, all in the sense. But that kind of leads into what we wanted to talk about today, and shout out to Pastor Lee
from LS Revival Center, because we have been focusing on Mark chapter 13. And the verses that we're focusing on right now have to do with the things that are going on in the last days. And we are experiencing so much right now. It's pretty unreal. But once again, before we even remotely get into that, Dr. Holmes, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I don't want to get so serious that, we forget.
Just with being here, it's always a blessing and to share and just to encourage, uplift, and dialogue and talk with the people, because, like you said, so many people are leaving here, so many deaths, so many tragedies, so many things are going on. And we know we are living in the last days, and we are knowing that scriptures are being fulfilled. So even as my pastor would say, it's not going to get better, because the word declares we're living in perilous times. We are living in the last days. So we've got to be rooted and grounded like never before in God. We've got to grip the solid rock and don't let it go. Check up on people, call people, encourage people, because sometimes all people need is a listening ear. Sometimes all people need is I love you, I want you to be encouraged, or just checking on you. How you doing today? And let's just do that.
Yes, please. Even just that thank you, thank you, and, a letter. I mean, we've gotten away. I still write letters, but people have gotten away from writing letters.
Yeah,
you know the excitement when you get that mail and it ain't a bill. Okay.
Yeah, I love to write letters.
Yes. So we got to get back to that, honey. What you got for us?
No, I was just about to again thank Dr. Holmes for being there. It's always a pleasure having you here, man. The energy and the spirit that you bring, uplifts us all. And I'm sure everybody who listens will get an opportunity to tune in. They definitely receive something from you, And I know that's another gift that comes from God through you. So we thank you for being faithful.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for being who you are. And again, you talk about the issue of the things that happen in the world today, especially with the suicides and things. We need to really pay attention. Everybody has value. Every person has value regardless of situation or circumstance. So we really need to pay attention to each other. The signs that we see within each other, it's sometimes it's easy to see, but a lot of times we overlook it because we in such movement in such a fast-paced society that we don't pay attention to each other, don't care for each other the way we used to.
You're making a very valid point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you hear people say, "Oh, I didn't see the signs," trust me, they were exuding some signs before the incident happened. And I'm not trying to be unsympathetic or anything like that, but people cry out for love, attention, a listening ear on a daily basis. Yeah. And like my husband said, some of us just get so busy that we claim we don't have time. Believe me, you got time.
And we overlook things, and signs are there. And even if you just listen to somebody, or even if you watch their movements. When I used to work in the ER, and I worked in the triage, when I worked in the area of triage, listening to people's situation, and it was so many times I was able to minister to people, just listening to them, just giving them a word of encouragement. And sometimes that's all people need is just a listening ear. And just like, yesterday, seeing this homeless guy sit on a bench and, ask for money, well, you got to be careful with that, but then you got to be discerning. God will lead you. So I was like, what I didn't have, but I went in the store, came back out, brought in 2 healthy breakfast bars, but the thing is, because working in healthcare, they may have diabetes, they might have health challenges, so you're careful in getting what I bought them. I bought 2, one for now, one for later. The thing was, after I saw them sit there, watching, went in the store, got in my car, I looked in the whole parking lot and he was gone. And it is so true, you can entertain angels unaware. And the mere fact is, I didn't go just walk past him. And a lot of times we're just walking past people. People are hurting. We know we got our own issues. We got our own problems. But it didn't matter what I might have been dealing with. If I can help somebody and I'm led to do it, just like that instance, he was gone. I was like, wow, God, this would have been an angel that I entertained, yet they're gone. But what if I would have missed the opportunity and then I ministered to them, was encouraging, saying, it won't always be like this. I said, I'm waiting on some things from God, but just being able to minister. And he said, thank you so much. But just the mere fact that he was eating, because a lot of times people say they're hungry, you go get them and then they don't eat or anything, or they always want money. But sitting here and seeing her eat that, but yet he's gone. I said, wow. And I could have missed the opportunity to minister. I could have missed the opportunity to bring God glory or just to encourage him that it's going to get better. Encourage him, you can make it, but then knowing that somebody took time to listen to you, somebody took time just to stop, encourage you, or to say, hey, you can make it. And that's what I did. And I was like, wow, it really was a blessing.
And that's what the compassion of Christ that's in us, allows us to do. It puts us in a position to be able to do that.
Right, we have to remember that the small things make a big difference. It's not always this grandiose, got to be seen by everybody and accolades coming down. It's the smallest gesture that can make the biggest difference in someone's life. I want to say good morning to everybody that's on Facebook Live right now. Good morning, Patricia. I see you. Good morning to everyone that is joining us on Facebook Live. Y'all, not only are we here on Facebook Live, again, I'm going to repeat, we have the free app, which all y'all have downloaded, I'm sure, and we are now live on YouTube. So I have shared the link for YouTube. So go on over there, check it out. See what's going on over there. Talk to us over there. Let's see what's going on, okay? But let's get to our topic for the day, which we are in Mark 13. Starting from what verse were we on there?
I believe we started in 10
Go that far
in the
back?
Bible study. Yeah, he went back to 10.
Okay,
Where
that was
started.
review. But like I said, we were talking about the things that are going on in these last days.
Right.
The things that we are, as been said by Dr. Holmes and by my husband, the things that we need to be paying attention to and not overlooking, especially with the craziness going on right now. We can point out about in 2 seconds about 17 events that have gone on in the past week, and all of them involve number 45. But we ain't gonna go there right now. What I want to focus on is, if you go back to, you said 13, here I am, but I did that Bible study. I was in chapter 4, 13. Anyway, verse 10 in chapter 13 says, and the gospel must be first preached to all nations.
Yes.
Let's start off with that first, okay? Because of the fact that we're sitting here, we have our Bibles in hand, okay? We have the word on our heart. We know the Spirit is alive within us. And we see across the world how people are trying to get the gospel into people's hands, and they're banning it.
Yeah.
They're banning it like it's some type of mojo or voodoo that's going to change their method of thinking and how they want to run things, which is bothersome to me because this is known as the good news, the good gospel. So why would you ban something that's supposed to be good?
You're going to have to have it in your heart, because in a lot of places you just can't, and that's a lot of times when we take it for granted that we have worship or we have churches to go to, we have services, or we can open up a word no matter where we are. And it's with everything that's going on, it's going to have to be hidden in your heart. And you're going to have to know it because so much is transpiring and so much is going on. And yes, the gospel got to be preached, to all nations. And, we got to do the Great Commission. And it is because he's coming back. Every signs and things that are happening, we know he's coming back. Well, yes, or as my pastor would say, we've been hearing it for so long too. We just, we've been hearing it for so long. But yes, he's coming back all the time. So much is the scriptures being fulfilled. It is allowing us to know we've got to have our houses in order. We've got to be ready because he is coming back. We've never seen it like we've seen it before. The killings, the murder, we're seeing so much now, and the disrespect, we're seeing it so much now, or even as they say in calling wrong right and right wrong, and everybody's doing, even in scripture said they did what was pleasing in their sight. Everybody was doing what they thought was right according to their own self, and we're dealing with that now.
Absolutely. And that's why he destroyed the earth. That's why he destroyed Sodom, during their time.
That's an all-time high now.
Yeah, absolutely. And can I just back up just a little bit and read just a little bit of the scripture, give a little background before we start again, because it's talking about here in Mark 13, talking about Jesus foretelling the future, and his disciples are sitting around asking him what are going to be the signs, of this time. And here, where Jesus replied in 5, it says, "Don't let anyone mislead you, for many will come in my name, claiming, 'I am the Messiah.' They will deceive many, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but do not panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. Nations will go to war against nations, and kingdoms against kingdoms. There will be earthquakes in many parts of the world. There will be famines, but this only the first of the birth pains and more to come." And again, we talk about those things that we are seeing, and there are many more things that are discussed in here.
Yours says birth pains. Mine says these are the beginnings of sorrows.
Right.
Okay. And it says, and there will be earthquakes in various places, and there will be famines and troubles. So it's the same word. It's just different to grab your attention, so to speak. And then if you go down to the next verse, I'm sure that's where you were going with.
Right,
So
yeah,
to watch
right.
out for yourselves, for they will deliver you up to councils, and you will be beaten in the synagogues, and you will be brought before rulers and kings for my sake and for a testimony to them. And I know you got a point, but I want to bring up a point I posted yesterday about a fire chief who was fired for professing his faith.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. And it's a story you got to go see. I don't want to try and piece it together. You have to go watch the video. But this is the persecution that we're talking about, where people are saying what they believe and who they believe and where they believe that their help is coming from, and they're being persecuted for it. But go ahead, honey.
No, and again, the Bible says that we will be persecuted. It don't say we might be persecuted, for what we believe or our beliefs in Christ. It says we will be persecuted.
Mm-hmm.
So that we must know and be strengthened and encouraged, knowing that what we have to come,
right,
that we're going to come against these things. And right there in verse 2, it says, and that's, to me, that's that thing that stood out so profoundly in the Bible study here in verse 10 that says, "For the good news must be preached to all nations." So to me, it says that good news is going to be our saving grace. That's the thing that we can stand on and keep peace. And when the world is going crazy all around us, the good news is the thing we can hold our hat on and be confident, regardless of what's happening with our economy, regardless of what's happening with the earthquakes, regardless of what's happening with fathers against sons, brothers against brothers, the killing, the murder, the war, we can still stand on that God is in control, and we have that peace of the gospel within us.
Right. And this, the real quick, that Dr. Holmes, the next verse expounds on what both of you have said, but you said it in the beginning. But when they arrest you and deliver you up, do not worry beforehand or premeditate what you will speak, but whatever is given to you in that hour, speak that, for it is not you who speaks, but the Holy Spirit. So that goes into having the word within, having the word on your heart, studying the Bible, reading the Bible, because the word will come to you at the time that you need it.
Absolutely. Even if you mumble it, because the Holy Spirit, if he makes intercession for us, the thing about it is we're going to have this hid in our heart, even if the word tells us that. And the thing about it is, even when we suffer for the name of Christ, but we still got an expected end. He said, we have an expected end. That's a promise. Mm-hmm. So the thing about it is that we got to stand on the word and the promises of God. For there, yea and amen. And his word's not going to return back void. And no matter what our situation, no matter what our circumstances is, we've got to rest in the fact that even in Hebrews, that we don't have to cast away our confidence. We have great recompense of reward, and the just shall live by faith. And so this is a faith walk. Right. So, and we got to come to him. We've got to believe in that he is the rewarder of them that diligently seek him. But he's given us this roadmap, this word, this guide. He's given us the direction. He left us with the comforter. He left us with the Holy Ghost. So we have a God. We got the strength. We got the power. But we just got to rest in it. We got to apply it. You know what I mean? No matter what is going on around us, he's still God and he's still on the throne.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It ain't going nowhere.
He's not going to heaven and earth will pass away, but my word is going to stand. So we're standing on the word, no matter what our situation is, no matter what circumstance. And even in this, when he said, these light afflictions are but for a moment. So even this, they're just but for a moment. And one commentary said they're just momentary. So which means they don't last long. But the glory that is producing out of the affliction, see, we look at it like that. So you look at it from another perspective and knowing that all of these trials, all these situations, as Paul declared, is working for my good. But knowing that I got something good coming out of all this trouble, all this situation, knowing that these afflictions are just like, but it's producing a greater glory for me.
Amen. And woo, yes. Okay. Speaking on that, where, it only lasts for a moment. It says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Trouble doesn't last always. This too shall pass. Okay. I'm giving y'all little tidbits out, little golden nuggets there. But it just says, like you said, it's momentary. It is not something that you got to carry for the next 24 hours, 48 hours, 48 days. It's not something that has to last that long if you are looking to the hills for where comes your help. So, moving on, because we get caught up in that one really quick.
And I was thinking, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off, but I was just thinking, especially as an early Christian or when I was younger, reading the Bible, how much Revelations just scare me. And it still does.
Yes.
To be honest, Revelation still scares me to know what it is to come. So I think especially people who are not Christians, not people who don't know the word, people who are not, don't have that blessed assurance, are fearful and kind of poo-poo that thing off, about the end of time that we talked about in Bible study, especially the fact that you don't know the day or the hour, that we must prepare ourselves.
Right.
And how important it is preparing ourselves by digging in and knowing this word and living according to, this word. That's the thing that's going to give us that assurance and give us that peace as we walk through these troubled times.
Right, and I think the biggest thing we took away from that, because I know Nate said it a lot, is that we take the time for granted. Because people tend to think we got all this time. It hasn't affected me yet, so I don't got to worry about it.
Exactly.
Okay, I didn't have time to do it today, so I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, we got to remember tomorrow's not promised.
The day's not promised.
Yes. So yeah, that time factor, that messes with everybody. Because some people say they don't have enough time in the day when you got more than enough time in the day. More than enough time a day, and it just takes a moment. It doesn't have to take your whole day. It takes a moment to praise and worship. It takes a moment to just Jesus. There you go. Done.
Exactly.
Done. It doesn't take a long time to go through it. And you did when you're talking about the day nor the hour. And it says to take heed, watch, and pray, for you do not know when the time is. So that's why people like myself, my husband, Dr. Holmes, other people, we tell you, live your day today. Live it like tomorrow ain't coming. Live it like it's never been lived before. Enjoy, give of yourself, do these things for other people, because it's not all about you. Yes, you're trying to get your house straight, but you also want to make sure that you're sharing that blessing so that other people know that there's a way that they can save themselves too.
It is, and we've got to share it. And that's the same thing when I deal with a lot in my book, The Power of the Seed. We're planting seed, we're sowing, we're planting the word, we're sowing. So I'll tell people it's not just always in money, but it's in the word, it's in good deeds, it's in, thank you, it's in encouragement. All of that is planting the seed. And then your seed is powerful because it grows the same as you planted it. It's going to grow if it's been watered, if it's been nurtured, because said one plant, one water, God will do the increase. So we're increasing, we're planting the word, we're seeding the word, we're sharing encouragement. And the thing about it is, like we said, with so much going on, the word is being fulfilled. The scriptures, and you talked about, Revelation, but all of the word, because, you read from all of it, it should cause us to think and to realize what is going on, because it's already been declared.
Right? I mean, and so much of this word is prophetic. It's been prophesied about long before a lot of things have happened in the Bible. They were already prophesied about it. So to know that, again, this word is a prophetic word is all the more reason to pay attention, take heed and be aware.
Right.
Pastor Lee gave a small example, again, talking about his daughter and our awareness. He's saying, he sends his daughter to school now. His daughter's old enough to walk home from school, but he says he just followed her, from time to time, just to see if she's paying attention. He said, she got her headphones on, her head down, and she's walking. And that's what we do, walking through our day-to-day every day, not paying attention, to our surroundings, to the dangers that are around us, to the signs that are right there before us, that we need to do. And that example, it was great for him to give that example, to be transparent, enough to give that example about, and it's a small example, but when you look at the bigger picture, absolutely. You look at the bigger picture, absolutely, it is huge, because that's what we do. We walk through and walk around, not paying attention to the signs that are right here in front of us, the dangers that are around us before us.
And these are the things we can see, and imagine the things that we can't see right now.
Absolutely.
The wars and the battles that are going on in that realm that we're not in right now.
Right.
Okay, so that's something that has to be considered too. You're in a time where things are tangible. You can put your eyes on it, you can put your hands on it, you can smell it, breathe it, see it. But the battles that are going on, the principalities that are being warred against, while you're walking around, they battling all around you while you're walking around with your headphones on and your head down.
And I was going to touch on that again, because we're talking about those spiritual things, or things that we are able to see. The closer we go to God, the Holy Spirit reveals these spiritual things that we see all around us, that people who are not in Christ don't see the spiritual things. They just see the natural, with what's happening in the natural, and saying, okay, well, that's all happened before, and not paying attention spiritually, these battles that we're fighting,
Right, exactly. And, it goes into, I know we're kind of hopping all over the place in Mark chapter 13, but everything that we're talking about here today goes on into that. And then I think you mentioned just a little while ago, Dr. Holmes, about the angels. We never know if we're entertaining an angel. We also have to be wary of the false Christ and the false prophets.
Yeah.
Those that just come out just to say, here, I got this for you. If you do this, then I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. We have to remember that what was done was given freely. It did not come with a price for us to pay, because the price was already paid. But we continue to constantly keep nailing Christ back to that cross. Every time something comes up, and we're believing too many people for what they claim. And I mentioned about, the year 2000, Y2K, where everybody lost their mind because they thought, the world was going to, turn upside down. And then you just recently, in the past few years, had pastors talking about on this day and this time, this, the world was coming to an end. And how many people actually bought into that, and not thinking that the Bible says you don't know that. Nobody can give you a time, so how are you going to believe that? But before we get too caught up in that, let me get to commercial break, because that's going to take us to a whole nother realm. We're going to go to commercial break. We're going to come right on back. We're on YouTube Live. We're on Facebook Live. We are on the WMSK Online Radio app. Get one of them and come on down. This is the Arlene Major with my husband, Victor Major. We are Covenant Connection Live right here, WMSKOnlineradio.com, where talk radio just got better. Keep it locked. I dug some mints out, so if you want to mint Dr. Holmes is there.
Yeah, I remember they said, think about the revelations of the kid, man. It's just,
I was always told, don't read Revelations till you read the rest of the Bible. Right. That's what I was always taught.
Nowadays, you better read it.
You better hurry up, read Revelations.
Read that and the rest of it.
Ooh.
This is Dr. Eric Holmes, the author of The Power of the Seed. You are listening to Covenant Connection Live.
We look at kind of stupidity over there on YouTube. Y'all go on over there and take a look at YouTube. We're doing our thing over on YouTube. Go take a look. I shared the link earlier.
Turn around and show that.
Go show your smile, Dr. Holmes. There you are. There you are. Wow. I think it's something new for Dr. Holmes. Every time you come up in here, it's something new.
Tell them, download the app.
Download the
onlineradio.com.
Right.
We Talk Radio just got better. This is what we can study.
Wow.
Hello, Miss Pam. Hello, Joe Green. Hello, everyone that has joined us on Facebook Live. I do want y'all to check out the pinned comment. Go over to YouTube. Click on that link. Go over to YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you've seen us on YouTube. Thank you. And you come on back to Facebook Live. You can stick out around over there on YouTube so you can see us all in action. All of us over there. But head on over to YouTube. Click the thumbs up. And we appreciate you for it. And trust me, we all over the place. We taking it over. How about that? Okay? And we love you all for it. Thank you so much.
Wow, this is what they've been saying.
And y'all can keep them. I have more.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
You guys know we living in the last days.
Talking in the Bible study about, living and walking this walk, in integrity, not doing it just for other people, trying to make an impression or impress somebody or, just for sight, doing the right thing for right sake, right,
I just got a blessing. I just picked up 2 major sponsors for the event.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Yes, one of them is going to be doing the t-shirts for the event. They're both going to be dropping items in the swag bag, and they're purchasing radio spots.
Wow.
How about that?
Beautiful.
This we need to keep that, put that in your Bible. I don't want that to go.
Okay.
And both of those sponsors are from Delaware. How about that?
Some of this is what I want to kind of touch on as well, too, talk about those false teachers and those false prophets. It's so important to know that word for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, now I wonder if y'all really have it. Does anybody really have power today? Check somebody and tell them, say, oh, I wish I had 2 or 3 people that really have the power of the Holy Ghost in your life. Just scream it out loud. Oh, if you really got the power, I'm talking about that devil removing, that devil chasing, that rebuking and power scream. I'm talking about this type of power that backs off the enemy in every circumstance. Somebody say, I got it.
Don't make a move without contacting Focus Movers. They offer affordable moving rates, fast and reliable service, fully equipped state-of-the-art trucks, locally owned and operated, a 24-hour call center. You give them a call. Do it today.
I mean, then start tomorrow.
6 p.m.
Oh, wait. Why am I saying this? I don't know what I was how I got there so early. I don't know what I was up there. So it says 6 in this ad.
Lori Days.
Lori Days. Okay. 6, okay. That's not far from me. Like,
Yeah.
Drop
about 10 minutes from me. I'm in Antoine and them did Baltimore Flavor up there.
Yeah, that's where pretty much all of WMSK, because they have a partnership. WMSK has a partnership with Corey Gaines.
Oh, good. Okay, so it's at 6 p.m. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be there. I was going to ask you, maybe Lady Yvette might help you write an article.
Whoever wants to help, I am grateful for.
Right, because they lived it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you have people that lived it and come through it.
Because what I want to do is, I'm still waiting on Pastor Lee, but I'm reaching out to other churches who are interested in doing a snack and paint, which, you know, you fellowship, you come together, you're painting, you have snacks and whatnot, and a portion of the proceeds go, one portion goes to 50 Shades, the other portion goes back to the church. Okay. So that the church benefits also. But everybody's able to come in, have a little fun. We have a corner for the kids so the kids can do their painting, you know, and then, you know, the adults do theirs. And it's a fun time.
Okay.
We had a fun time.
Information and I'll get it.
That's fun time. We're trying to get them together. I'm trying to do an event a month, or at least.
Okay.
I know next month I don't have anything right now. We're trying to put an adult bowling party together. But if I can get a paint party, we can do it at Glory Days, or we can do it at the church. You know, whoever's church, and it's just a matter of coordination. So I get the person who does it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be canvas paint. We can do glass painting. So there's a variety of things that can be painted.
Okay,
and it's, you know, all work that you take.
Like, maybe it's an email. What I'll do, I'll give it to our executive at the church. And
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get these little things together, the little like press packages together, so people can understand.
Like next month, I'm in charge of Pastoral Sunday.
Okay.
That would be a perfect little.
Yeah, it's just something for everybody to share and enjoy, and come together, have a little fun.
Right.
You know.
How many minutes yet?
About 3. Oh, look at that too. Hi, Patricia. She said hello on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all need to go on over there and check out YouTube. Drop us a line. Say hello. Say you love seeing everybody's smiling, shiny face. And just listen to me talk on Facebook. How about that? Thank you, Miss Patricia. I know it's kind of hard to do that with Facebook Live. You only got one camera. And then Facebook Live doesn't allow you to landscape. That's the only thing I don't like about it. You can't landscape anything with Facebook Live. Or you can, but everybody turning their camera all sorts of ways, you know.
I love that song.
See them guns? Look them guns. Look them guns, y'all. Hey! I got guns. Be competing with my husband. Can you tell? His are bigger than mine, but you know. Like I said, y'all going over there, check out the YouTube live. Hit the button up, hit the like button. Let us know that you see us live on YouTube. We appreciate you for it.
The views and opinions that are expressed on WMSKOnlineradio.com are those of the guests, hosts, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its management, hosts, or advertisers.
Now y'all get to see me at work.
On WMSK
I'm all over the place
Radio.com.
in here.
Can't promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or personal practice. These shows are for entertainment only. Thanks for listening.
And WMSK is looking for a gospel show. Document. I don't know if they want to strictly focus on gospel music or what they want to gospel, what's going on in the gospel world or whatever, but they are looking for that.
Okay.
Y'all get to enjoy my striped socks. I see my striped socks and boots. That's just silly stuff.
Matching stripes.
Yes, they match. Thank you very much. Welcome back, y'all. This is Covenant Connection Live right here, WMSKOnlineRadio.com, home of Cheryl Underwood Radio. And we are happy to be here on this fantastic, warm, hot Friday. If you are on Facebook Live, you are seeing the cover of the premiere issue of State vs. Us magazine, Urban Reality News, right in your hand, highlighting high-profile cases, wrongfully convicted stories, corruption in the prison system and police department, success stories of former inmates, entertainment, and more. You can get your copy and a digital copy today at stateversususmag.com. That's stateversusmag.com. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. If you have a story to tell, want ad space, or want a feature, email us at stateversususmag@gmail.com. You see Miss Connoisseur's bright smiling face on the front of the copy. The premiere issue and Boss Brand is the article written about Miss Connoisseur, written by yours truly. That's right, me. Wrote that article, and the second issue is in the works, and y'all have to be ready for that because it's going to be hot. The other thing I do want to mention is coming up tomorrow, 6 to 9 p.m., Glory Days Grill, 1220 East Joppa Road in Towson, Maryland, is Share the Vision networking fundraiser hosted by WMSK Online Radio, 50 Shades of Blue, and Lady Blue. We will be bringing businesses together to share the vision of joining the community, uniting businesses, and supporting a worthy cause at the same time. Part of the proceeds will go to support 50 Shades of Blue, the 4th annual conference coming up in October. There will be a 50-50 raffle, surprise giveaways, speakers, and networking. You can come learn about the world of radio marketing. So tickets are free. They're available on Eventbrite. Grab your tickets. Spaces are limited. We want to see everybody there. Come out, enjoy, have a good time, share, and bringing the community together. So I hope to see everybody there tomorrow because I'm going to be there. I have to be there. I'm the one that's hosting it. So anyway, let's get back into what we were talking about real quick. And we were talking about what's going on in the world today, last days. A lot of stuff has happened. And I think we left off, we were talking about angels, entertaining angels, having the word in your heart, being able to understand that, you know, the gospel is something that we should be sharing with one another, not just keeping it to ourselves, not being selfish about it, because the word is for everybody, believer and non-believer, because you can't let the non-believer deter you from your walk that has been given to you. And the word, when you open what is considered to be the basic instructions before leaving earth, okay, the Bible, it gives you the necessary, what do I want to say, sustenance that you need through your day, through your life, to give to your family, to give to others, so that they are able to endure in these crazy times that we're in right now. And the thing that stuck out to me right now, if I'm as in looking at Mark 13, because that's where we're at. For those of you who are just joining us, we're in Mark chapter 13, starting at verse 10. We were talking about the false prophets and the false Christ, and the those that showing signs and wonders and the things like that.
Right.
Did you have I touched on it a little bit. Did you have a thought on that? Either one.
Yeah, it clearly allows us to know we've got to be aware, because false teaching, false prophets, all of that is coming, and all that's in the word. And, you know, knowing that we're in the last days because people are going to be saying, I came in his name, or, you know, this is what he said. And, you know, he said, that's not what I said, you know, or this is, they weren't sent for me. So we've got to be aware. That's why it takes being in the word. It takes being in prayer, being in worship, communing with him, you know, being led of the Holy Ghost, because it's so many are coming saying, you know, so many different things. And even the dialogue, you know, that they were having about, you know, the one person with this jet and all of that, and, you know, so many different things. But he clearly said, you know, God told him to get it, you know, and so many people are dialoguing. Even Kirk Franklin even said, you know, well, X, Y, Z, you know. So we have to really be careful, and we have to be discerning. We have to be led of the Holy Ghost. We have to be, you know, in the word and have it hidden in our heart, and knowing the word, and, you know, in prayer, that we get direction, that we get, you know, as I always say, Lord, order my steps, order my thought, order my ways on today, you know, so we'll know, because so many different things are being said, and people will really make you believe and cause you to waver in your faith if you really don't understand, or you really get in, and you'll start believing, because the more and more somebody says, whatever it might be, the more and more you believe it, the more and more you can get swayed. And you know what I mean? You might go to the left, and, you know, even when people are getting converted, people can sway whether you're going to be a Christian, whether you're going to be a Jew, whether you're going to be, you got to know what you know. And a lot of times, a lot of other affiliates, they know what they know, and you can't sway them.
Right.
They stand on what they believe, and they stand firm on what they believe, and they know it. And that's the thing with us, we got to know it.
Exactly, you're right. I mean, and that's knowing the word for ourselves is key. It truly is key to us. But to go quickly to the scripture in Mark 13:21, just about what we were talking about, it says, then if anyone tells you, look, here's the Messiah, there he is, don't believe it. For false messiahs, false prophets will rise up and perform signs and wonders, so they will receive, if possible, even God's chosen one. Watch out, I warned you about these things ahead of time. And so again, it's easier to be fooled and deceived when you don't know the word for yourself, when you don't know the signs for yourself. And especially think about people who don't know the word, they can be easily swayed. You think about just kids in general. We talked about it in the Bible study, just how dangerous, what a dangerous time it is for kids in today's society, because they're so easily influenced. They're willing to believe and take anything from anybody, because they're not grounded in anything in particular, you know, to have them stand on, you know, to fight against all the different influences that may come their way. And, you know, the non-believer is just like a child in that sense, that, again, you could be easily swayed because you don't know the word. You're not grounded in anything that keeps you, like you said, hold on to that rock and don't let go. When you don't know who the rock is or how, you know, and haven't come in relationship with, you know, the Christ, with your Savior, how do you know what's true, what's right?
Now, how about this, Mr. Vic, that a lot of believers and a lot of people that have been in the faith are allowing things to persuade them, or allowing people to sway them and to leave the faith. Even a lot of people that say they've been called to this assignment, pastors, leaders, and people are walking away, but you say you've been called to it, but yet this might look a little better right now, per se. This here, we're looking at things from another perspective, but it might look good here, but it ain't really good for us. Right. But we're looking at things might be greener, we're thinking it's green over here, yet you're being fooled, you're being swayed. That's why I said, you better grip the solid rock. Yeah. You got to have your faith anchored. You got to have the belief and strength. You know, yes, circumstance, situations may come up, but that's why we got to pray daily. Or when they say, you know, it don't take all, it's going to take all that and some more, because of the times we're living in, because time is winding up, because we're in perilous times, because the word's being fulfilled, because the scriptures are coming to pass. Like he said he was coming back. You know, he allowed us to know, but he gave us this up front. He told us this, but yet we're being persuaded. Yet We're swaying in our faith. And the thing about it is that even people that were strong in the faith, people are walking away. People are leaving. Then you say, well, what would cause them to walk away? What would cause them, to be persuaded? What would cause them to say, I'm going Catholic or whatever it might be? You got to be rooted and grounded. You got to stay in the word. You got to stay in prayer. You got to stay in worship. You got to continue to allow that flesh to die daily. You got to be anchored and grounded like never before, because of where we are in life, where we are in the time, where we are, that he is coming back. He gave us that. He said it. So he's definitely coming back. Whatever he spoke, he's going to fulfill it. So we see it now, and then people are walking away. People are, how are you going to say, just say you've been in ministry in church or whatever, say 40 years, but yet you just faith. It's going to help you to be strengthened. You got to have somebody that can, check on you, pray what you call you. You going to need all that and some more, because I'm telling you, people are giving up. You look at a lot of believers committing suicide.
Yeah, you've had pastors that have done that in the last week. They've just been overwhelmed, overcome. And that's why not to veer off, but that's why we say, you just said it, check on somebody. Yeah, your pastors are people too. They can't just take it all on and then not give them some kind of relief or relaxation, or let them go and be be themselves for a little while, even though they are the shepherd of that church. And with the things that churches are taking on now, we're not looking at the church in the light that it should be looked at. Mm-hmm. Okay, because people are picking churches based on, how does a choir sing? Does a praise team do it right? Who's driving what? Is this, if I'm going to go to this church? Who dresses what? Who's sitting in the front row? The church is not about the outside facade. We talk about the church being the place you go to get fixed. And people are too busy trying to get right before they go into the place that they get fixed. And you have to remember, you ain't never going to get right before walking in, or even when the word hits you. Something in you is broken. Something in you is in need of repair. Okay?
And that's all of us.
Right. So to look at the church and say, well, if they can't fix it, I'm going to go over here. And if they can't fix it, I'm going over here. Church hopping's not going to fix it either. It's the word that's going to root you. The church is just that place that allows you to be in the presence of other believers. But when you're too busy looking at if the church doesn't offer you what you think you should be getting, then you're gonna go walk somewhere else and that kind of thing. And I'm my mind is going 55 miles an hour here. But I also want to look at the fact that you have many churches that think about these churches that have written their parishioners letters because they haven't tithed the way that they want them to tithe. Okay. Tithing is a very hot button issue, but the reason I bring that up is that tithing, according to the Bible, is between you and God. It's not between you and the person that's heading in front of the church. Okay. And that's just the way that I'm seeing it. And then if you look at Malachi, and if you look at the different ways that the tithing and the giving to the church is for the advancement of the kingdom. It is not for the advancement of the person who wrote you the letter. It is not for the advancement of who's driving a Rolls Royce versus who's driving a Hoopty. Okay, it's got to be for the advancement of the kingdom when you are doing your tithing into and sowing into the church. You're sowing into the kingdom. You're not sowing into man. You're not sowing into a person. And I know I just got off the freeway there, but I just wanted to bring that point up. Because the church is not the church is just going awry as of late. It's not where it should be in terms of how we're dealing with it as
but that's something good to address, because a lot of people, when you begin, especially in our nationality, we begin to talk about finances, we begin to talk about money. But he gives us clearly an outline whether it's in Leviticus, in Malachi. It is for the advancing of the kingdom. He made ways for us to be able to take care of the kingdom. He made ways for us to be able to take care of the house of worship, because we're not doing it as they did in the Old Testament with animals and all of that, because of course BJ, they can't say here you go bring a cow.
Here, lay your hands on this sheep's head and then all
he gave us the principles. And the thing about it is, and I think that even for our ministry, that We know where everything goes. We know what it's being for. It's for the advancing of the kingdom. It's to take care of the house of worship. So his word is still true.
Right, that's true. Honey, real quick before we go over to commercial break, you got something?
I mean, the point I was going to make again is that we are the church, and it's about being in relationship with God. It's not the place, and it's not, again, like you said, who's dressed in a certain way, how prosperous the church seems, or how the choir sounds. We come to develop and build ourselves. And what I always tell young men or young people that I talk about, trying to bring them to Christ who don't understand certain, things about this walk is we are in relationship. It's not so much about the building. It's not about the place. It's about, your relationship and your connection with God. And too often we see these other things and we talk about these other things like, tithing and other stuff that discourages some people, from going. But, I guess we'll finish it up after the break.
So we got to go to commercial break, so y'all know. We'll come on back, WMSKOnlineradio.com, where talk radio just got better.
Due to an upturn in the economy, mainstream business loans has pre-approved the
I was talking to a young brother at church the other day, and he was saying he's gone to church for the first time in a while, right around the corner from where we live. And he said he was a bit turned off because and I don't think it was the pastor. I think it might be one of the administrators talking about the tithe and asking for a certain amount of money and kind of berating people for what they wasn't given and that kind of thing. And, he was a little bit cynical. That's what I had, right? He said it made me want to go back in there and take money. I said, but it's not, so much about that. I said, be reminded that anything that you have, God gave you from the beginning. So you give him 10% is absolutely nothing. And he don't want you to give begrudgingly. He wants you to give with a joyful heart. Again, that's a test to your faith, to trust that what God is going to do for you. And you're not necessarily giving just to receive something back, but trust. If you trust God and put God to His word, you can guarantee what your return is going to be. Especially again when you're given with that joyful heart. It ain't about worrying about what the pastor's driving and what they're gonna do with my money kind of thing. God don't need your money. Right. But like you said, ministry costs, so it costs to keep the lights on, who does this? Who pays for this building? Who keeps it up? Who cleans it,
And the thing about it is that you have to understand, like the new members, we teach them, if they just coming in, we don't start out with teaching them about tithing. It's one of the classes, one of the syllables, but what we do is allow them to understand and know, behind it, the principle, the word about it, and we allow them to know this is what he said. We take them to the word. You know what I'm saying? We tell them.
All right, everybody, we are back for the last part of the show, Covenant Connection. I am Arlene Major.
And I'm Victor.
And he's a little late, but that's okay. We are live right now, WMSKOnlineradio.com, home of Cheryl Underwood Radio, in here with our special guest, Dr. Eric Holmes. Doctor, real quick before we jump back into what we've been talking about, tell us about how things have been going with Power of the Seed.
Oh, wow. And thank y'all for allowing me to be here. Always love, coming to share with y'all, and just like family. The Power of the Seed is really, God is really moving and blessing. Like I said before, since the last time I was here, it's now in the Enoch Pratt Library, which has 22 locations, the Baltimore County Library, which has 19 locations, and Dauphin County Libraries in PA, which has 8 locations. So it's really been moving. I submitted it to 2 other libraries, which is in review, so I'm waiting to hear back from them, which I know Favor is going to change the rules and that it's going to be accepted in here. They emailed me back, and I did everything they said. So it's the Power of the Seed's been moving. I'm looking forward to go across nations and you know, and international, just to share the word. And because we've been sharing the word, this is the word of planting seed to call somebody not just in money, but just encouragement, hope. You know what I mean? And even in tithing, even in giving, you know, your time, your talent, your tithes, but to understand that everything starts with a seed. And because when the seed's planted, it's going to grow. If you water it, if you nurture it, it's going to grow and produce that which has been planted. So even with the word, and even as we've been talking, you know, that's how powerful our seed is. The word is powerful.
Right.
So this is how we're talking about how we and get it into our hearts, get it into our spirit, and just understand the word is powerful. It's our guide. It's our roadmap. That's how powerful it is. So that's the power of the seed.
All right.
So,
well, I want you to know Patricia Shell says it was a great and informative book. So we do have a
Thank
follower that has read your book.
yes,
Okay.
put that review on
But
Amazon.
Now you have got another a great accolade that you mentioned, and that I will be putting up on my website and across social media. So tell us, you've been nominated.
Yeah, for shout out of course to the best book publishing company, Purposely Creative Publishing. Actually on the 23rd, been nominated for the ILA Award for one of the categories, Author of the Year for Spirituality, and then also on the 28th of June, I was nominated for Author of the Year for the Black Men Rock Image Awards, which I'm excited. And just being nominated is a blessing, you know. And then I'll be doing a book signing at the Enoch Pratt Library, which I'm on their website. And the compass comes out this week. Well, they'll be out next week to them. It's already in print. They showed me yesterday, which I was excited. It looks really nice. So I'm at the #1 spot on it. Open the writer's live. And I was telling people it's such a blessing. Just the mere fact, when I go in the library and the book is on the shelf, when I go in there and just knowing that I'm on their website or knowing that I'll be doing a book signing, it's such a blessing. It's nothing but the favor of God. And all I want is just to point everybody back to him, that he gets all glory, and just to share with people and encourage them. You know, keep sowing, keep planning in your dreams, sowing in your vision. You know, keep sowing into your business. You know, work the vision, build the brand. You know, and so understand it's powerful, but you got to keep doing the work. You got to keep planning. You got to keep sowing, just like a farmer. You got to keep planning. You got to keep sowing until he sees the harvest. But then the whole thing about it is, you got to start all over again. So when you see it, don't just stop.
Right.
Keep moving. So that's how it is with the power of the seed. I'm going to keep it moving as long as God gives me the ideal, the vision, the dream, that it's going to be. So I want people to be encouraged by that. So I've just seen God just work a whole lot of things. And just the mere fact, being in the libraries in itself is just, you know, I get emotional. And when I see it, it's like, wow, you know, because when I did the Renee Allen TV radio show, I needed a book. Had to go in there, went in the library, and like, wow, I'm getting ready to check out my own book. You know, so, and it's nothing but the favor and faithfulness of God. Who can get a book in the library in a week? Who can get a book in the library in 2 weeks? Nobody but the favor of God. And then there are 3 different ones with so many locations.
Yeah, there you go. All right, y'all. So you got a dream, you got something that's burning in your spirit. There you go. Plant the seed. Power of the seed. That you'll go get the book. Just go read the book. I ain't even gonna expound on it. Go get the book. Okay. Amazon,
Barnes and Noble.
Are you on Barnes and Noble?
No, on Goodreads.com,
Okay.
Barnes and Noble, and Amazon, or you can always hit me up.
Okay. All right. There you go. We'll get all into where you can get the book and all that again by the end of the show. But I want to take a few minutes in the little bit of time we've got left to just continue on with what we've been talking about in terms of Mark chapter 13, talking about what we're seeing in these last days, how it's pertaining to what we're going through in these last days, and you know, the importance of having the word in your daily life, in your heart, in your spirit, in your mind, you know, because it says mind, body, and soul. So you got to get it all up in there so that you're covered. Because we had talked about where, you know, what's in your closet. What are you what are you wearing? What are you covered with? Are you clothed with the word, or are you clothed with something else? So, you know, we also talked last week about what's in your fruit basket. We talked about the fruits of the spirit. So, you know, there's a whole lot that goes into this. But honey, let's carry on, shall we? Where did we leave off at? Oh, false prophets. We were talking about false prophets, weren't we? Well, we had talked about that, but I think if we continue to move on, you know, we kind of touched on it. We talked about angels, the sun darkening and the moon not giving its light, the stars falling from heaven, the heavens being shaken. I think the other thing that I do want to mention is going back up into towards the beginning, you know, in where was that? In chapter, not chapter, I'm sorry. Verse 8. We're talking about earthquakes in various places, famines, troubles. Look what we're going through now. Hawaii, Guatemala,
Yes.
over there across the water, I think it was Italy. You know, these places that have these volcanoes that they've built towns around. And these volcanoes are, you know, they're letting you know, hello, I'm still here and I'm still awake. They said yesterday on the news, I believe they said that Kilauea, those eruptions created a whole other mile of land around. You know, it destroyed the homes that it destroyed, but it created a whole other mile of land surface just from what's been happening since the eruption. That's a whole lot. And you know, this is a volcano that's just been continuing on, but it just needed, you know, where it was not where it was to be contained. So it broke off in other places and it's still going. And you still have people there that are refusing to leave.
Wow.
Who wants to fight up against how many degrees of molten lava? I'm sorry, I don't. Yeah, and people are still going down there for vacations and weddings and.
I wouldn't be going.
I'm sorry. As much as I want to go to Hawaii, no. I told myself I wanted to see, you know, the lava, you know, the lava pits. I've seen enough.
And you can actually tie this into when people believe what they believe or being swayed or whatever you believe, you're going to believe, and nobody can, you know what I mean, just like that. If the word tells us we're living in the last days and he's soon to come and he's giving us all of this, and yet in your mind you don't believe it because you haven't seen it, and people believe it, you know, and or somebody told you XYZ when we talked about, you know, false teaching, they may have told you something that you know is definitely just wouldn't sit right, or you know that's not what you were brought up, or you know that's not the teaching you received, but yet you believe it. Right. So you're dealing with all of that, and even when it talks about the itchy ears, and people want to hear what they feel is right, or they saying stuff. That's why you better get in the Bible, believing, word, church, worship. You know, having a pastor or a teacher that's teaching the word, and because so much now people are just hearing, or you're going to get a house, you're going to get a car, you're not taking any of that with you. By no means. You're not, because at the conclusion of it, if you don't hear well done, you're going to hear depart. So we're getting our houses in order, but he's giving us this information. He's giving us what we need to get it right. Where he's giving us all of this and preparing us because he's coming back. And a lot of times we're listening to so many different things that our ears are hearing that make it feel that, oh, wow. Or like you were talking about prosperity, or, you know, what people are wearing, what people are driving on. That does not mean it. In the words of the late apostle, wealth is being able to get it when you need it. So it's not that, you know, I might drive a car, because if you can't make up the payment, you ain't going to have it for long.
There you go.
So we're looking at houses and all that. Like you talked about the volcano that came through here, it would be gone. So you're not taking no house with you. It's the word. It is what we, our foundation, the word we have that is hidden in us, the word we have that he gives us, you know, the Holy Ghost that we have, you know, so the power and presence of God in our lives, so we're not swayed, so we're not giving in, so we're not just going with anything that somebody says, or, you know, that, or as that saying say, you know, if you don't believe in something, you're going to fall for anything. What is your belief? Where is your belief? Where is your faith? Because if it's not rooted, if it's not grounded, you're going to be swayed, you're going to go to another dimension or wherever it might be.
Right. And it says it right here in the word, if you go down to verse 14. So when you see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel, the prophet, standing where it ought not, let the reader understand, and let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Don't go back in your house. It says, let him who is on the housetop not go back down in the house, nor enter to take anything out of the house. And let him who is in the field not go back to get his clothes. It explains it. It's like when it's happening, you ain't gonna have time for that. Your birth certificate ain't gonna do nothing for you. Your social security card ain't gonna do nothing for you. Your wedding certificate ain't gonna do nothing for you. It's this knowing the word, and when you see these things, then you know, because it tells you right here what you're gonna see. It just tells you at the end. You just not gonna know when it's gonna happen. Right. He's testing you to see if this word is in your heart. Do you notice what is going on? Are that Bible-based word teaching, word giving, word enriching church makes a big difference.
And how about the seasons? We don't know the seasons. We know it was hot one day, then it cold, and it rained, and then, I mean, we had all of these elements. Look at last week, you looked like you needed Noah's Ark, and I was caught in some of it because everywhere I went at the Beltway, the GPS directed me to go off because of the Beltway. In the accident, I was all down Bloomingdale and all these other streets, and it was so much water. But we looked at all of this, and we seen what we couldn't. And then the next day, what? Hot, you know. So he says all of this, and he's allowing us to know this. But look at this. That was in Mark. In the New Testament that he allowed us to know that. But guess what? Daniel spoke it in Daniel in the Old Testament. So now here the Old is allowing you to know what's happening in the New. He spoke it to the prophet then, declared that, and now, so when we see it, we shouldn't really be surprised because he already told us. And though we do get surprised, but yet he's already spoken it. You go all the way back from the beginning.
Right.
He's already allowed us to know what was happening, what was taking place, and what was to come. Even when he went to the cross, even when he conquered death, victory, and the grave, all of that, he allowed us to know all of this stuff was happening. Then said he's coming back again.
Yeah, that's how I love that talking about that prophetic word. You know, the fact that it's been written and it's been told you beforehand what's going to happen. You know, it's I don't know. I just find it amazing. And again, the Bible says people, you know, they will perish for their lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're sitting in the dark, and we talked about the darkness in the Bible study the other day, and the fact that, you know, it's going to be dark, and the stars, no light from the stars, the moon, that kind of thing. But again, if we think about it in the fact that we are to be the light of this world in a dark world, and we're living in this dark world in this dark time, we as Christians ought to be that light in this dark world. We're the ones that will make a difference. We're the one that can help guide and lead people, you know, to Christ so they can see and they won't perish because of their lack of knowledge. And again, it's a part of our responsibility, you know, and not just to preach it to people, but to walk it to people. So people can see that light in you, you know, and see what's different and want, you know, what's inside of you, want that peace that you have inside of you, trying to figure out, okay, man, what's so different about this guy? Why is he, you know, so calm? Why is he so peaceful when there's so much craziness going on around us? And again, we are, you know, to be that light.
Yeah. And you had mentioned that in Bible study too, about it could be dark as dark. It can be black and dark. And if you got a flashlight, that light pierces that darkness, regardless of how dark it is. Even if it's a little itty bitty flashlight, it illuminates something for you to see. So therefore, that is like the light that should be within us. Yes. We should be able to illuminate that darkness which stands before us because we're standing on that word which has been given to us. And you mentioned the seasons, and I'm looking here at the parable of the fig tree. And how the fig tree gives you the signs and tells you, oh, it's summer, okay? It's about time for me to do what I got to do. And then, you know, we see these things happening, know that it's near and at the door. But then it says, I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all these things take place. So we're getting what we're getting, and it's, you know, who are we paying attention to? What are we paying attention to for that matter? And then again, you said in the beginning, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. So the word is going to be there. And then if we go further into it, towards the end of the chapter, we expounded on this. It was about the man going into the far country, leaving his house to the authority of someone else, the servants, and the work they're supposed to do, and that none of them know when he's coming back home. He gave them work to do, okay, and they're to do it with the expectancy that he gonna pop up at any time and ask, did you do it? It is the same with what's being experienced here. And it says right here, watch therefore, for you do not know when the master of the house is coming, in the evening, at midnight, at the crowing of the rooster, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he finds you sleeping. And what I say to you, I say to all, watch. So we don't know when it's happening. I don't know how many ways to Sunday we could possibly tell you we do not know. And we did talk about in Bible study how animals have that instinct, because I talked about the rooster, how the rooster tends to crow right at the end of the darkest part of the night. okay? And people get mad, why are you crawling? Sun ain't even up there. What are you doing? Okay, but the animals have this instinct of when something is going to happen, of when impending danger is coming around, or they like elephants. Elephants will continue because they know water is in that direction of where they're going. They don't stop. They keep going until they find the water. And then when you notice when everybody gets to that watering hole, animals that usually will eat each other up, they ain't paying attention to nobody else. They focused on that water. That is it. They're focused on what is giving them life. And that was kind of like where I was going
I like that.
with that. We need to not focus on all the other stuff. We need to focus on what gives us life, that life-giving water, that life-giving word.
Yeah.
So, that just came upon me and thinking, I watch too much Discovery Channel.
No, but that's a big revelation in it. And the same with the word. It gives us life. It gives us direction. It gives us guidance. And even when you say, we don't know the day nor the hour.
Right.
That's why with the 10 virgins, 5 wise, 5 foolish. Admit that was it when that door was shut. You ain't had no oil in your lamp. You got left out.
Right.
They missed the greatest opportunity, so they got left.
Right.
And so is us. When we don't have it, we're going to end up getting left.
Right. And then if you notice, most of the greatest things that happen in the Bible happen near water. Red Sea, the wedding, Jesus at the well, Noah, Moses, okay? All of these things that led to great and life-changing events happen somewhere near water, okay? And when Jesus met the woman at the well, didn't he tell her, let me give you the water that you don't have to thirst anymore. Okay, the living water, the water that you don't got to dip a bucket in, you don't even have to put a spoon in it. All you got to do is just.
You will never thirst again.
Yeah, never thirst again. Ooh, I done started something, y'all. I'm going to have to start fanning myself here again. Okay, but yeah, I mean, the word is powerful. Okay, and to those of you who are listening to me on YouTube, the app, Facebook Live, the word is powerful. It is life-changing. It is life-giving. It is life-sustaining. It is life purpose if you just want to keep going in the life realm, okay? It gives you what you need. It gives you a joy. You know that song, Joy, Unspeakable Joy, okay? It gives you that. It gives you that calm. It gives you that calm inside of the storm. I can go on with cliches all day long, but y'all understand what I'm saying. So as we come down to the end of the show, honey, do you have a final closing word?
And I just wanted to touch on something quickly that Pastor E was saying. He was talking about when he was talking about the people in the church and the people that may have been in there 20 years and then fallen off or gone another direction. And you said something so poignant is to learn to die to self daily. To die to self and be patient, waiting on God. And a lot of times we want that feel good message. We want that thing that makes us feel good, makes us feel comfortable, but God will make us feel uncomfortable to allow us to grow. It don't matter if you've been, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you still have to have a level of patience waiting on God and stop, moving in our flesh and our feelings, remove that, die to that flesh, get into, the Holy Spirit, be connected with the Father and wait on Him to get the answer. And there are plenty of examples throughout this Bible of kings and leaders that have succeeded, and they only succeeded because they trusted in God. They waited on God. They listened to God. They followed, what He wanted them to do when He wanted them to do it. Those who go astray are the ones that are failed and fallen.
And the same with us today. And even when she said, even in, like I said, he spoke it in Daniel, but yet Mark picks it up. But the thing about it is that from the Old Testament to the New, but the word is still going to be the word. He allowed us back then to know it. It happened and manifested there. And the mere fact is, we are rooted and grounded. And yes, let a man examine himself. We've got to examine ourselves. We are the light of the world. We are the salt that shouldn't lose its favor. And the thing about it is, when we go in the room, we should light it up, no matter how dark it is. We are the light of the world, and our light should speak something. You don't even have to open your mouth, but just walk in. Your light should speak. Your light should speak, as long as it brings all glory to Him and the point to Him in that direction. Because, like He said, we don't know the day, we don't know the hour. The word is going to be fulfilled. Heaven and earth, He said, we'll pass away, but my word is going to stand. And just like when they didn't know about the man when he went away in the far country, same as we don't know the day nor the hour. So we don't know. We just got to be ready. We just got to have our house in order. Because like you said, we don't. So much is going on. The scriptures are being fulfilled. The word is coming to pass. Everything that he spoke is coming to pass.
Right. It is. And we really gotta pay attention. And as usual, we are coming down to the last few minutes of the show. It goes by so quickly, y'all. We get into it and then it's time to go home. But I want to make sure that y'all understand that we enjoy being here. We love having Dr. E as a guest. We have fun every time we have Dr. E in here. We were the debut show for the WMSK online radio YouTube live channel. So if y'all have not gone over there yet, go check it out. I have the link there. I will be sharing it on Covenant Connection on Instagram and on Facebook. We look good. That's all I gotta say. We look good. Okay. But again, I want to thank Dr. Holmes. Dr. Holmes, how can people reach you if they need to reach you?
You can reach me. I'm on Instagram. That's ELynK1115. I'm on Twitter, Dr. E. I'm on Facebook. You can reach me at any of those outlets, or my email is elynk1306@gmail.com. If you need to call me, 443-682-5074. And of course, go online for the piracy to Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. Look on Goodreads.com, and now it's on the world's largest library website, which is worldcat.org. Or if you can't get one, just go to one of the libraries and it'll be on the shelf.
Check it out. Literally. Okay. Literally check it out. Honey, do we have a quick major thought for you?
Quickly, yeah. I want to go a little ghetto real quick.
Okay. Go ghetto.
And the thought of the day is don't get caught slipping.
Wow.
That's it.
That's Ebonics 101. That is.
Plain and simple. Don't get caught slipping.
There you
Talking
go.
about the master coming home. You don't know when he's gonna come home, so be
Amen.
ready in or out of season. Be right. Live with the character and integrity at all times.
That's it. And don't compromise your faith. And don't compromise your promise and base and settle for something less. Too many times we are compromising.
Yes.
And then we're settling for less, and then we miss it.
All right. All right. Y'all got 2 words in the major thought of the day. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody that has tuned in via the app, via Facebook Live, and those of you who have seen the premiere show on the WMSK Online Radio YouTube channel. We looking really good over there. I've been staring at us for the last 2 hours. We look really, really good. But no, hats off to Ms. Connoisseur for all that she's doing in here. Make sure y'all keep up with us. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. Even my husband is now on Instagram. Shut up. Okay. Anyway, Covenant Connection 16 on Instagram. Covenant Connection on Facebook. If you need to reach out to us, covenantconnection16@gmail.com. If you wish to donate to our ministry, you can contact us via email. Let's see, what else do we have going on? We are working on so much. I want to give a shout out to the LS Revival Center. They do have 2 events that are coming up. Please check that out on LadyBlueOne.com. They are up on the event page there. I will share them on Covenant Connection later on today. I do want to make sure everybody has seen that we have now put out the flyer and the event for the 4th annual 50 Shades of Blue, where Dr. E will be our introductory speaker, who will be bringing us in on our event on October 20th, 2018 at the Furley Recreational Center down here in Baltimore. And I am really thrilled about that. So much is happening with that event, and I can't even keep up with it. It's just coming in. The blessings have been coming. Get on board, Baltimore, because they coming from outside in to come in. We got people that are looking to fly in. 2 or 3 people are coming to fly in. We have the opportunity to have the Maryland State Police, which will be joining us to discuss domestic violence and how it affects officers from the beginning to the end. We have legal aid coming in. We have counselors coming in. We have group therapists coming in. We've got it all coming in, and this is for you, the community. So this is a community-driven event. If you have any questions, you want to get involved, if you're interested in vending, swag bags, anything like that, you can reach out to 50 Shades of Blue Baltimore at gmail.com. What is your handle on Instagram? It's you got some numbers on there that I don't have memorized yet.
I forgot myself.
Well, just look for Victor Major. Just look for his bright, shining face. It is there, okay? You can find me all across social media. We are here every Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. Catch Lady Blue on Thursdays from 9 to 11 a.m. Dr. E, thank you for joining us. Honey, thank you for being here. I love you. And we love you.
And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
All right, so y'all going out there and enjoy your day. Live out loud and be a blessing. Get what you can from your blessing and then share, because you never know. You may be the only Bible that someone gets for the day. Y'all have a blessed weekend, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Be special.
Yes, look, we have to remember to give a shout out to Pastor Abrams next week, because I think he's been nominated for either Man of the Year or a Lifetime Achievement Award in Alexandria.
Oh, all right. Well, we will definitely
so
do
much,
that. We need to put that up on the site. How about
I gotta
that?
double check. Yeah, I gotta double check.
We will definitely make sure that we shout out Pastor Abrams. We love you, Pastor Abrams, and Harvest Assembly Church down in Alexandria, Virginia. Pastor Mickey, wherever you are, and Ship Nation, thank you. Pastor Lee, thank you. To all of you who have joined us on Facebook and on YouTube, thank you. It is certainly appreciated. We want to thank all of our special guests. If you want to be a guest on our show, all you got to do is reach out, let us know. We'll work out and book the schedule. We are here every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we love being here. We love sharing the word with you. So go on out there and enjoy your weekend. We are out.
Yeah.
I love this version by Legacy. Can't back away the camera because I'm about to hit end stream. We're about to be out, y'all.